What's up, my friend? Zion Williamson, under 33.5 PRA. I snagged this on PointsBet this morning, under 34.5. It has since moved down to 33.5. Good sign, good sign. We're going to talk about the numbers, the data, why I like this line, and a few other picks for PrizePicks and sportsbooks right now. Let's go. All right, let's talk about Zion. So we just saw these two teams play about a week before Christmas, a week ago, and he ended up with 20 PRA against Memphis. And a lot of that has to do with the Jaren Jackson treatment. Now, when you go back and you look at the history of Zion versus Jaren Jackson Jr., you just don't have a big sample size to compare. How's he done? But he's had 5 games over the last couple of years. Didn't even get close in 2 of them, was kind of mediocre in another, and then 2 of them he missed, he hooked at 33 PRA. Now, the matchup is rough. Jaren Jackson Jr. in the paint, one of the best defenders in the NBA, will challenge for Defensive Player of the Year for as long as he stays healthy over the next 6-7 years of his prime. And I expect Zion to get that paint treatment. Now, power forwards against the Memphis Grizzlies this year who have had success from the outside. The Grizz are actually giving up the second most threes per game to the power forward position. Now, that's kind of crazy because Zion has made a single three-pointer in his last 12 games. The dude just does not shoot from the outside. He has to score from real close to the rim, putbacks, things like that. He's just not going to get him against Memphis, or at least the probability is low. And if his scoring upside is going to remain low, well, then I don't think he can hit the over on the rebounds and assists. Here's also why. When I looked at his rebounds and I looked at his assists for today's matchup, neither are good for power forwards against Jaren Jackson Jr. And on top of that, both his 6.5 and his 4.5 line for both rebounds and assists, respectively, are both juiced to the under. So you've got a guy here who needs to hit the over on the points, which would be the toughest over, in my opinion, or he needs to hit the over big time by 2 values at least for rebounds or assists, and both are juiced heavily to the under. I'm sorry. Too many ways that he could miss this line, not enough ways that he can hit the over. Taking under 33.5. Hopefully, this official pick right here moves us to 5-1. Yeah, that's right. We're on a little mini heater here after a couple rough videos in the middle of last week. Hopefully this one finds you well today after your Christmas break, your holiday season, your little celebratory stupor. I know I'm tired. Today's video is going to be a little bit shorter. I got this official pick, and now I'm going to do some odd shopping, and I'm going to talk about the research for each pick while I do so. I have to share with you, I had just about the most insane weekend possible for the last 2 weeks for NFL, just smashing lotto after lotto. I nailed 5 first touchdown picks this past weekend out of 13, which is insane when you have this many long odds plays. Nailed some parlays. Full recap, absolutely outrageous. I mean, we're talking close to 30 wins, 9 losses, another 5 going on Christmas Day, 5-1. It was just an epic run, absolutely epic. You can see recaps for weeks here. 2 weeks in a row have just been kind of nutty. Just wins everywhere. I mean, Saturday 2-0, 1 p.m. games yesterday went 7-3, 4 p.m. games 5-0, 9-0 on touchdown player props. First touchdowns hit 3, hit 2 more on Christmas Day. Just insane. Just an insane run. If you want access to that stuff, my VIP things, you can grab that down below for $14.99. All right, let's do some odd shopping. And if you want to use it, it's free, 100% free, mysparry.com. Once you're on the website, it'll pop up like this. If you're on mobile, there's like 3 dots at the top. You click the dots and you click Odds Finder right here. Super easy. Bang, you're good to go. The PrizePicks Optimizer, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to show 250 entries for NBA. We're going to review. I don't need the date or the matchup. I'm looking at all that right now. I know what the date is, and I'm going to put implied probability highest to lowest. So the optimizer is ready to rock and roll. Selecting, first off, you could just scroll this now. And while you're scrolling this, you're going to see whenever a pick stands out, and it's a good pick. Here you go, Keegan Murray, under 6.5 rebounds on parlay play, under 6.5 rebounds on sleeper. You can see here are the book odds, minus 165 on Pinnacle. Minus 135 and across. Best odds would be minus 130 if you want as a straight pick. But this just shows you this is significant value on these 2 sites. So if you can grab that right now, Keegan Murray, under 6.5 boards. You want to play it on sleeper or parlay play, just click the logo here, and it'll kick it right over to those sites. It'll also be a deposit match of $100 if you want to use my logo clicks. You can use that. And you could keep on scrolling, just find all the best plays. Here's another one. Franz Wagner, over 5.5 boards. Juiced like crazy on Pinnacle, over 5.5 minus 150. And you could play, maybe just take right now, Franz Wagner, over 5.5 boards with Keegan Murray, under 6.5 boards on Sleeper. You got yourself a 2-pick entry with 2 of the best picks on the entire board. And you could just keep scrolling and comparing site after site after site. Or, my friends, maybe you're like, oh, you know what, Mitch, I really, really like Sleeper. It's the only site I play on these days. Okay. You click Sleeper when you're looking at the different pick'em sites. And now you've got all the best sleeper picks. You want to put together an 8-pick sleeper lay? Go for it. You go crazy. Oh, Mitch, all I play these days is parlay play. All right. Here would be the number one pay on parlay play. If you can slide this to 3.5. If you can't, try to slide this to 4.5. Try to slide this to 3.5. So on and so forth. Bang, there's Keegan Murray. He's still live. Slider, not even needed at 6.5. Same with Joe Val, over 12.5 rebounds and assists. You could play that outright. There's a 2-pick entry on parlay play. So on and so forth. PrizePicks, underdogs. Let's look at PrizePicks, though, because I know a lot of you are in love with PrizePicks, and you guys can use it this way. So you grab PrizePicks, boom, you click it, and you scroll down. Spencer Dinwiddie, under 1.5 turnovers today against, I believe he plays Detroit. I told you this video after my official pick in the beginning. I'm just going to research it for you. Now, for this play, tough one because he only had 1 turnover against Detroit. I think the last game before Christmas. Yes, but on the season, he's averaging 1.7 per game. He's hit the over in 17 of 28. But the matchup is pretty good. I will say the one thing that causes me a little concern is we do not have any odds or markets for FanDuel, Caesars, or Penny right now for this line. So you can take it, but again, you're only looking at the math-based number of 58.47% implied probability that he goes under 1.5 based on Fliff, DK, and MGM. I like to hopefully get at least Pinnacle or at least FanDuel because I believe they're a little bit sharper. And when I'm comparing lines, honestly, I want to look at the best markets and the best sports books when comparing these prices. I don't search on Google for, some Nikes and compare some off sites, some off-brand sites, some lower end sites. I want to see, what is Amazon going to show me? What does Nike.com show me? Do I get a better price for a better shoe there? So that's essentially what you're doing here. This is not saying answer sheet, answer sheet, answer sheet. This is not the answer sheet for you. This is more of a compass. It's telling you, hey, in this direction, you can get the price here. You can get the price there. You can get the price here. But that's all it's doing. It's not telling you an answer. Continue to scroll down. You can see Jabari Smith over half a steal today. Let's take a peek at that one. Jabari Smith and the Indiana Pacers are facing Houston. And Houston at the power forward position could be one of those teams that does turn the ball over a few extra times. I will say this. It is a much faster paced game than normal. Okay. It just is. It's a faster paced game than normal for Houston. This is a track meet when you're facing Indiana. And so if Houston gets the pace up matchup and Indiana playing at lightning speed, do they have a chance to turn the ball over a few extra times today? I always think there's an opportunity for that. The issue here is Jabari Smith just not one of those high steal guys. Has only hit the over in 12 of 27 games. That's right. Only has a steal in 12 of 27 games. And again, only 3 sports books. I kind of want FanDuel or Pinnacle and 4 books if I'm going to be taking a play like this. And if I do have 4 books without FanDuel and Penny, again, that just comes down to you. What do you feel comfortable with? Do you want to go with the Jaren Jackson over a half a steal? The data, a bit more interesting on this one. Sit the over in just over 62% of his games last couple of seasons. Now, did not start off the season with a stealing very frequently, only 2 of his first 11. But since then, he's had a steal in 13 of the last 19 games. And for whatever it's worth, did not have a steal in either game against the Pelicans this year. So again, that's another spot where you've got to decide, what do you want to do with no FanDuel or penny lines? The 2 sharper prop books, in my opinion. All right, here's a good, well-rounded play. If you want to look at this, we've got Ivica Zubac. All right, under 1.5 blocks today against the Charlotte Hornets. And if you want to take it as a straight pick, man, look at this value on FanDuel. Now, I looked this up because I was intrigued with Terry Rozier basically being the primary ball handler, and he shoots so many threes, just not as many drives to the hoop, fewer block opportunities. And yeah, the rate of blocks that opposing teams have had against the Hornets has gone down since Ball has been out. And, he's another person that shot from the outside a lot, but just the offense has changed a little bit out there in Charlotte. Under 1.5, -120, not a terrible play. It really isn't. I'm looking at it right now with Zubac. He's been under this season in 55% of his games. He's been under last couple years in almost 2/3 of his games. So he's not a big high block guy. So the -120 is a very interesting line on FanDuel. Under 1.5. It looks good. 58.13% implied probability. That's a very good implied probability here for a fixed price site like PrizePicks. Got some role players popping up like Herbert Jones under 3.5 boards in that Pelicans game. Let's take a peek at him. Bringing up the data for Herbert Jones. And at 3.5, he's been under in 6 straight games. The guy is averaging 4 rebounds per game this season. The first game against the Pelicans this year, he had 8. Last game, he finished with 1. We are juiced on 5 different books. Makes this a very solid parlay piece here on PrizePicks. And I will say this, anytime you find a line here that's juiced like this and you don't like it, and you're like, Mitch, I'm sorry. I think Herbert Jones is grabbing the boards today like crazy. Okay, here's what I want you to do. If you've got a line juiced with a -138 average, a 58% implied probability to go over, you're often going to get potentially plus odds on the opposite direction. So under 3.5, juice like crazy, and you did the research and you think it's the opposite, well, then you type in very quickly Jones, and you can see Herbert Jones pops up. You look at his rebounds and you look at the over and check it out. Plus 100 right here on DK, plus 100 on Caesars and MGM, and FanDuel, plus 112. So essentially, anytime you see these lines and you do not agree with them, oh yeah, you have a tremendous opportunity on Sportsbook. So this is very Sportsbooks based. If you disagree with what the optimizer is showing you, and again, the optimizer is not a model. It's not giving you picks. It's essentially you typing in to Amazon toothbrush, and it's bringing up all the different toothbrushes at all the different prices, and you pick your favorite one. And if you look at that and you're saying, I don't agree with this sportsbook line, I don't agree that these books all have the under, I don't agree with these odds, well, then you better not just fade it, but you better go look at the upside of taking it in the opposite direction, because you will also get you that play at plus odds like 90% of the time. So take a look at the optimizer. This thing is not just going to give you the best plays on the DFS apps. It's going to give you the best value on the sports books. One other thing I want you to start thinking about. I know a lot of you have your noties on for 10 different cappers on Twitter and on YouTube and Discords. When we post a play, I want you, honestly, you just run to the optimizer and you type in a play, because that is the best way to find the best odds. So let's pretend I just talked to you and I said, you saw a tweet and it said Zion Williamson under 33.5. Okay. You go to myspray.com, you click the optimizer, you go to the NBA tab, you type in Z-I-O. Look at that. He already popped up. You click Zion and you want to see his PRA because Mitch tweeted this out. He said under 33.5. What are the odds? Okay. There you go. Updated odds, Zion Williamson. It's totally updated. API pulls every 10, 15 minutes. And best part, the best part that I didn't even mention here, it's free. 100% free. Every tweet, every YouTube video, every TikTok video, every Instagram post and photo, you see these plays and you're like, oh, I trust this guy. I love his picks. This gal is sharp as a knife. All right. When they post, you hit your notification bell and it's on and you get the alert. It goes up on your phone. The next step is not to go searching through 6 sports books. Scroll, tab, scroll. No. Just open up myspray.com. You click the optimizer and then you type in their name. It's a couple clicks. You get right there. You get all the lines researched for you, presented to you. You can see, oh, okay, cool. It's on all 4 books. It's live on all 4 DFS apps. Odds here for 6 different sports books, and it's 100% free. Hopefully today's video helps you win money. Hopefully can line your pockets a little bit, and hopefully you find yourself with a nice, relaxing Tuesday after Christmas. I hope you all have a good day. I'm going to be chilling with the family the rest of the day, light on the picks from me, as it's just going to be some family time. I'm going to take advantage of this. I wish you well. Let's get paid.